Hi guys! As you all know, every once in a while I'm recording a chess video covering a special moment of mine. This memorable one can be named Castling Like a Boss. It was played in 2013 against a strong FM, which means FIDE master. I had the black pieces. The days before that particular game I participated in an open tournament close to Frankfurt. However, I abandoned the last round there in order to support my club team in our league at home at board 1. Here we go. d4, knight f6, knight f3, e6. I remember that I was well prepared against the Catalan, in which I considered my opponent to be an expert. So something like this was the prep. Alas, London system, as they say, appeared over the board. Quite fashionable nowadays. So no sooner than move 3 I was left to my own devices. Standard reply, e3, queen b6. That's typical of queen pawns openings when the white bishop has left c1 early, leaving b2 unprotected. Knight c3. Admittedly, that's not the standard London system move, but certainly a good one. Black has to keep an eye on knight b5, targeting c7. Knight c6 was my choice. Without preparation, it's suicidal to take on b2, if not outright bad. Sample line. And this is probably winning outright. a3. Now queen b2 loses on the spot. I took on d4 to take d takes c5 out of the position. Should be simple development. b4 interesting, seems to be kind of computer move or scheme, which means basically it's not bad at all. Knight b5 was another possibility. Black can reply knight e5. This, nevertheless, black's indeed okay. Nothing special, but solid position. d6 was played. So b4, d6, e5. Now knight a5 comes into consideration. Black's a bit better. After knight d4, forking bishop and knight, winning back the piece. That's a bit better for white, so black is a bit worse. But nothing dramatic. No dramatic bad position. I chose a dynamic approach with by means of e5. Opponent took on c6. I took on f4. Rook b1. No different moves are conceivable. This is not possible. Pinning the queen. This would mean white's winning outright. So queen c7. And then we have this possibility. Taking on b7. Black's hitting c3. This is complicated or unclear, but by no means bad for black. I played queen a5, also hitting c3. Now black can take on c3 or on b7, c3, now this, in this line white's a bit better, playing rook b8 seems to be also a bit better for white. That's why I didn't take on c3, I took on b7 first. Queen a1. With a quiet draw of a repetition of moves. After some contemplation, my opponent played knight d2, and I guess that means no, not yet, Kameraden. The computer would just castle here. The computer's a bitch sometimes. Taking on e7, we have knight d5 hitting the rook. If the rook stays on the e-file, there is queen b2 clearing c3 for the knight. This can lead to a repetition or even losing, like a line like this. The repetition would be, wait, this would be the repetition. And if the rook, going back to castling, taking, when the rook stays on the 7th rank, oops, pardon, this fantastic line seems to be winning. So best move, short castle. However, I went for knight e4, pinning the knight in a certain way, owing to a queen e7 mate, and threatening queen b5. b5 is a good move, protecting the knight for the time being, and after queen b5, this one has to be calculated in advance. And now black's even better. Winning exchange and a promising position. So d5 is small tactical detail, which is the basis of good positional play. White f3. Knight still pinned. Yeah, and queen f2. Sorry, knight f2, forking king and rook, or queen a1 check, followed by knight c3 forking king and queen is impossible due to the pin. So now there's the moment you all have been waiting for. Unpinning in the most spectacular way. Long castling, attacking the rook and unpinning. White took an f1, black took the rook. Black has still to keep an eye on c6 with perpetual check, so ain't work. This is just a draw due to the weak king. So queen a3. The cleanest win might be something like rook d6. This is a computer line. I go quickly through it. In time trouble, h5, sacrificing the bishop. Sacrificing even more material, but how to checkmate actually? The seductive f3, there is king f5, and out of the sudden the white king has reached the eye of the hurricane and is relatively safe for the time being. I got nervous about how to proceed. Actually, there's no check at hand. The only winning move right now is rook h6, and moves like rook d6 is even losing. So I didn't play f3 check. Instead, rook d6 seems to be a good move, taking some squares on the 6th rank under control. Mainly c6 and s3. The computer would win in that fashion. I didn't see that. I have played another good practical choice. For example, when white plays 95, I have something like this is winning, or c4. It's also winning. My opponent bishop d3, and now I have plan B, winning the queen, and I'm a bit up in material. Trying to disturb the coordination, prying the position open in order to maximize the power of the black pieces, especially black queen. And white had no chance but to resign. The king has to stick to the knight, covering it, but the cheeky pawn decides matters. Since the white knight is falling, black's a million material up. And that's it. I hope you are not too disappointed. Thanks for watching.